Jason crouched behind a jagged rock, his eyes scanning the dim glow of the abandoned city. The planet was strange, almost dreamlike, with towers that twisted like spirals and streets lined with glowing plants that pulsed gently in the thin atmosphere. His mission was simple: explore, gather data, and report. But nothing had prepared him for this feeling, the sense that someone, or something, was watching him. He checked his equipment again. The energy readings were spiking just a few meters ahead, near a narrow alleyway between two collapsed towers. The hum of alien energy vibrated faintly under his boots. Jason swallowed, steadying his breath. He had been trained for dangerous missions, but curiosity had always gotten the better of him. He stepped carefully into the alley. A sudden movement made him freeze. Shadows danced across the walls, shifting faster than the dim light allowed him to see clearly. And then she appeared. The alien girl stood at the far end of the alley, almost ethereal in appearance. Her skin shimmered faintly, catching the soft glow of the alien flora. Her hair moved as if it had a life of its own, floating in gentle strands that defied the planet's gravity. She looked at him with eyes that glowed like amber, curious and daring all at once. For a moment, Jason thought he had imagined her. "You shouldn't be here," she said, her voice melodic, yet carrying a strange echo. Jason froze, unsure if she could hear him. Then, with a soft, playful laugh, she turned and sprinted down the alley, vanishing around a corner. Jason's heart pounded. His mind raced, and yet his body moved before he even thought. "Wait!" he called, but the echo of his own voice was the only answer. He followed. The alley twisted and turned, leading him deeper into the heart of the abandoned city. Strange plants brushed against his shoulders, their bioluminescence casting long, shifting shadows. Occasionally, the alien girl would appear ahead, just out of reach, and then disappear again, leaving behind faint, glowing footprints. Jason noticed something remarkable. The footprints seemed to shimmer for a few seconds before fading, as if the ground itself could not hold her presence. He pushed forward, feeling a thrill of excitement mixed with caution. The alien girl was clearly not hostile. Yet she was deliberately drawing him into her domain. Jason had seen alien wildlife before, had dealt with hostile creatures, but this was different. This was intelligence, curiosity, and play all in one. The chase led him to an open plaza, where collapsed towers formed jagged spires against the dim sky. Here, the girl paused and turned to look at him. She smiled, a mischievous, teasing smile, and Jason realized she had done this intentionally, to lure him, to test him. Jason took a deep breath. "All right," he muttered to himself. "If this is a game, I can play too." He slowed his steps, careful now. He noticed patterns in her movement, small habits that repeated each time she appeared. She preferred paths with floating rocks or narrow ledges. She relied on speed and agility, but there was a rhythm. Jason began to anticipate where she would appear next, edging closer without alarming her. Suddenly, the ground beneath him shifted. Jason barely kept his balance as a rock floated up from the surface, hovering a few inches above the ground. The alien girl's laugh echoed again, soft and teasing. She was everywhere and nowhere at once, guiding him through this strange city with her tricks. Jason remembered his training: observe, adapt, survive. He adjusted, using the floating rocks as stepping points, timing his movements to match the rhythm she had created. Slowly, he felt a connection, not with her personally, but with the challenge she presented. Every step forward was a test of human ingenuity, and he was determined not to fail. After what felt like hours, but was only minutes, he cornered her near a structure that resembled a tower made of crystalline materials. She turned to face him, her expression shifting from playfulness to a hint of caution. "You're persistent," she said, her voice softer now. Jason caught his breath. I'm human, he replied simply. Persistence is kind of our thing. For a moment there was silence. The alien girl studied him, her glowing eyes scanning his face as if trying to read his thoughts. Then she stepped back and darted around the crystalline tower, leading him to a narrow bridge suspended over a glowing chasm. Jason froze for a second. The chasm below pulsed with light, illuminating strange formations and streams of energy that moved like rivers. One wrong step and he could fall. But the girl had already crossed effortlessly, her agility unmatched. He took a deep breath and followed. Each step required focus, calculation, and courage. Jason felt a rush unlike anything he had experienced in training simulations or missions. This was real. Every movement was life or death, but he pressed on, proving to himself and perhaps to her that humans could adapt. The bridge ended at a small alcove filled with strange bioluminescent flora. The alien girl waited there, leaning against a crystalline wall, her expression unreadable now. She was not running anymore. Instead, she was observing him, as if curious what he would do next. Jason approached slowly, careful not to startle her. "Why are you doing this?" he asked. "Are you testing me?" The girl tilted her head, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "Perhaps," she said. "Or perhaps I am curious." Jason nodded. "Curiosity? That I can understand. Humans are curious too." She considered this, then took a step closer, her glow dimming slightly. Jason noticed she was smaller than he expected, not a threat physically, but her presence felt powerful, almost magnetic. "I have been alone here for a long time," she admitted. "No one understands this city. No one understands me." Jason felt a pang of empathy. He had been trained to explore, to survive, but never to connect with an alien being like this. Yet somehow, despite the chase, he understood her loneliness. "I might not understand everything," he said carefully, "but I do understand being alone. Maybe we can explore together?" The girl studied him, her expression flickering between caution and curiosity. Then, almost as if deciding something, she nodded and gestured toward the deeper part of the city. Jason followed, his excitement building. This was no longer a simple chase. It was a beginning, a step into an unknown world, filled with challenges, discoveries, and perhaps friendship. As they moved deeper into the city, Jason noticed that the alien girl left small, glowing markers along the path. Not traps, but clues. She was teaching him, guiding him, testing his mind and instincts. Every step brought new wonders: floating gardens, energy streams, crystalline tunnels. The city seemed alive in a way he had never imagined, responding to their movements, glowing brighter or dimming with emotion. Jason realized something important. This wasn't just a physical challenge. This was a test of his mind, his patience, and his humanity. Every decision mattered. Every move reflected human cleverness and adaptability. He was no longer merely a visitor. He was a participant in the city's silent game. The alien girl paused at the edge of a glowing pool, her reflection shimmering with her image and the city's light. "You have done well," she said. "But the game is not over." Jason smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. "Good. I like a challenge." She laughed softly, a sound like wind chimes over water, and dashed into the shadows once more, leaving Jason at the pool's edge. He knew he would follow. He had to know more, to see where this game would lead, and to prove that humanity could match any test, even one set by an alien being far more agile and mysterious than himself. As he sprinted after her, Jason felt alive in a way he had never experienced. The city was strange, dangerous, and beautiful. The alien girl was unpredictable, clever, and fascinating. And somewhere deep down, he knew this chase would change both of them, and perhaps even change how the universe saw humans. He was human. He would keep chasing, and she would keep running. But this was only the beginning. Jason took a deep breath, staring at the dark passage ahead. The alien girl had disappeared into the shadows again, leaving him at the edge of the glowing pool. But this time he felt different. He wasn't just chasing her out of curiosity. He wanted to understand, to learn why she had revealed herself and what she was protecting or hiding. He stepped forward carefully. The light from the pool reflected off the crystalline walls, illuminating strange symbols etched into the surfaces. Jason bent closer, studying them. They seemed like a language, or perhaps instructions. He traced a pattern with his finger and felt a faint hum under his touch. The city was alive, responding to him. Suddenly, a shadow flickered across the wall. Jason turned just in time to see the alien girl sprinting across a narrow ledge above him. She was fast, too fast to follow normally, but he didn't panic. Instead, he looked around and noticed a series of floating rocks leading upward. Timing his jump perfectly, he leapt from one to the next, keeping pace as best he could. The thrill of the chase sent his heart racing. Every step required precision. A misstep could mean a long fall into the glowing energy streams below. But Jason relied on his training, his instincts, and a little human stubbornness. He wasn't going to let her outsmart him so easily. The alien girl paused briefly on a higher ledge, glancing down at him. Her amber eyes glowed softly. "You're clever," she said, her voice echoing across the crystalline walls. "Not many could follow this far." Jason grinned, brushing a strand of sweat from his face. "I'm human," he replied. "Clever is kind of our specialty." She laughed, a sound like a soft wind through hollow tunnels, and then darted forward again. Jason followed, using every skill he had. He noticed that the city itself seemed to help him in subtle ways. Some floating platforms shifted just as he reached them, giving him a foothold. Energy barriers that might have blocked his path pulsed open, as if recognizing his determination. After several minutes of this, Jason realized he was learning from her. She wasn't just running to escape, she was teaching him, testing his mind and body. Every movement, every decision, required thought and observation. The chase was no longer just physical. It had become a game of strategy. At one point, the alien girl led him into a tunnel filled with a dense, glowing mist. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. Jason slowed, relying on his other senses. He could hear faint whispers of wind, the hum of energy, and the soft footsteps of his elusive companion. He moved carefully, placing his hands on the walls to guide himself. Then, suddenly, the floor shifted. A section of the tunnel rotated, creating a gap that could have trapped him. Jason jumped instinctively, landing safely on the other side. Above him, the alien girl's laughter rang out. She had set a subtle test, and he had passed. "You are persistent," she said once more, appearing a few meters ahead. "And surprisingly adaptable." Jason felt a sense of pride. This was human ingenuity in action. Quick thinking, observation, adaptation. He had learned to anticipate her moves, to navigate the strange city, and to survive challenges that would have stopped others. As they continued, Jason noticed more of the city's wonders. Crystalline structures that hummed with energy, floating gardens with plants that glowed in colors he had never seen, and streams of liquid light that seemed almost alive. The alien girl moved through this world effortlessly, while Jason adapted, learning to read the subtle signals the environment gave him. At one point, the chase brought them to a narrow bridge suspended over a glowing chasm. Jason froze for a moment, measuring the distance. One wrong step could be fatal. The alien girl noticed his hesitation and glanced back at him, her expression unreadable. "You can do this," she said softly. Jason nodded, focusing. One step, then another, then another. He moved carefully, but with determination. Halfway across, a gust of wind swept through the chasm, threatening to knock him off balance. He gritted his teeth, adjusting his stance, and pressed forward. When he finally reached the other side, the alien girl was waiting, her glow brighter now. "You did well," she said. "Not many humans could follow me this far without giving up." Jason smiled, catching his breath. "I told you. We humans are persistent. It's kind of in our nature." She studied him for a long moment, then nodded. "Perhaps. But persistence alone is not enough. Curiosity, intelligence, and courage matter too. You have shown all of these so far." Jason felt a surge of pride. This was more than a chase. It was a recognition of human capability. He realized that this girl, with all her agility and cleverness, respected him now, not just as a pursuer, but as a worthy companion in this strange environment. The next part of the journey brought them to a series of suspended platforms over a river of glowing liquid. Jason's eyes widened. The platforms moved unpredictably, some rising and falling, others spinning slowly. The alien girl paused, watching him. Jason took a deep breath. "All right," he muttered. "Time to think." He observed the patterns, timing his movements with the shifting platforms. He noticed that some platforms responded to pressure, while others moved only when stepped upon. Slowly, carefully, he made his way across, balancing, jumping, and sometimes crawling when the gaps were too large. Halfway through, one platform tilted dangerously. Jason held on tightly, adjusting his weight, and managed to regain stability. Above him, the alien girl clapped lightly. "Impressive. Your mind adapts quickly, and your body follows." Jason grinned. "Thanks. It helps to stay alive." She laughed again, a sound that was becoming familiar and strangely comforting. "Perhaps survival is only part of your skill. You also think, learn, and adapt. That is rare." When they reached the other side, Jason felt a mixture of relief and excitement. He was exhausted, but every challenge he overcame reinforced his belief in human resilience and ingenuity. The alien girl waited silently, as if acknowledging his efforts without words. They continued through the city, moving deeper into areas Jason had not expected to see. Bioluminescent plants formed arches above them, casting soft light, while crystalline structures shimmered in colors that defied description. The alien girl led him to a series of intricate tunnels, where the walls pulsed with energy. Jason realized that this city was not just abandoned. It was alive, interacting with those who entered. At one point, a series of obstacles forced Jason to improvise. He used floating debris to create a bridge, redirected streams of energy to illuminate a dark path, and even deciphered some of the symbols etched into the walls to find hidden passageways. Each challenge tested his mind and body, but he rose to the occasion. The alien girl watched silently, her eyes glowing faintly. Jason sensed that she was not just testing him, but teaching him. Her actions guided him through the city, forcing him to think, adapt, and persevere. He realized that the chase was a form of communication, a way for her to show him the potential of humans. Finally, they arrived at a large chamber, its walls covered in intricate patterns that pulsed with energy. The alien girl paused, turning to face him fully. "You have done well, human," she said. "Few could keep up, and fewer would understand. You are remarkable." Jason felt a swell of pride, but also humility. "I'm just trying," he said. "Trying to keep up, trying to survive, trying to understand." She studied him, her expression softening. "Perhaps that is enough," she said. "Perhaps understanding is what matters most." Jason nodded. He felt a connection, not just with her, but with the city, with the challenges, and with the lesson it had taught him. Humans were not just strong or clever. They were adaptable, curious, and resilient. In this strange world, his determination and ingenuity had allowed him to survive and even earn the respect of an alien being far more agile and clever than himself. As they moved deeper into the chamber, Jason knew the chase was far from over. The alien girl was still full of surprises, and the city still held mysteries he had yet to uncover. But he felt ready. Whatever lay ahead, he would face it with courage, cleverness, and human determination. And perhaps by the end of this journey, he and the alien girl would not just be pursuer and pursued, but allies, bound by respect, trust, and the thrill of discovery. Jason and the alien girl moved cautiously through the glowing chamber, their steps echoing softly against the crystalline walls. The air was thick with energy, and faint currents of light twisted around them like ribbons, reflecting off her shimmering skin. For the first time, Jason noticed how small and delicate she seemed, despite her unmatched agility and cleverness. She was mysterious, playful, and brilliant, but also clearly alone in this strange world. "You've followed me this far," she said, her amber eyes glimmering. "Not many humans would have. Most would have given up long ago." Jason shook his head. "I'm not most humans. We're persistent and curious. You could have stopped me at any time. Why didn't you?" The girl tilted her head, considering his words. Then she shrugged lightly. "I wanted to see if you could keep up. If humans could think, adapt, and survive in my city. If they were clever enough to understand it. And you? You are different." Jason felt a strange warmth at her words. Different. That was something humans rarely were told by aliens, or anyone for that matter. But he didn't let himself dwell on it. "All right," he said. "If this is about understanding, then I'm ready. Show me what I need to see." She gave a soft laugh, and for the first time she stopped moving ahead. She let him catch up fully, standing side by side as they approached a wide open space. The chamber ahead was unlike anything Jason had seen before. Towering crystalline formations rose like trees, their branches stretching into the ceiling. Streams of glowing liquid flowed in winding paths, reflecting shifting colors across the walls. Floating orbs of light hovered above, casting soft illumination. Jason's breath caught. This is incredible," he said. "It's alive. It feels alive." The alien girl nodded. "It is. This city is not abandoned. It grows, adapts, and responds to those who enter it. It is a living entity, and it tests anyone who walks its paths." Jason looked at her. "And me?" "You," she said simply, "have passed the first tests. But now comes the part that is more difficult." Jason raised an eyebrow. "More difficult than chasing you through collapsing tunnels and floating platforms?" She smiled faintly, a soft glow surrounding her. "Yes. This is not about agility or speed. This is about trust, about understanding each other." Jason studied her, unsure what she meant. Then, as if reading his thoughts, she gestured to a bridge spanning a vast pool of liquid light. The bridge was narrow, delicate, and completely transparent. Walking across it would require balance, focus, and confidence. "You must cross," she said, "but you cannot do it alone. The city will challenge you, and I cannot guide you with distance this time." Jason swallowed. He had faced countless challenges before, but this felt different. It was no longer a chase. This was a test of teamwork, of cooperation, and of mutual understanding. He nodded, stepping forward carefully. The alien girl followed, moving beside him. Her movements were precise yet fluid, almost as if she were part of the bridge itself. Jason mirrored her steps, focusing on balance, breathing, and observation. Every slight tilt of the bridge sent ripples across the glowing liquid below, but he kept steady, drawing strength from his determination and from the presence of the alien girl beside him. Halfway across, a ripple surged through the bridge, forcing him to adjust. His hand brushed against hers accidentally, and for a moment, time seemed to slow. She looked at him, her eyes wide and curious, but she did not pull away. Instead, she nodded ever so slightly, as if acknowledging the connection. Jason felt a surge of courage. "All right," he muttered. "We can do this." Together, they reached the other side safely. Jason exhaled, feeling a mix of relief and exhilaration. The alien girl smiled, and for the first time, her glow seemed warmer, softer. "This is how it begins," she said. "The city tests not just strength, but understanding, cooperation, connection." Jason nodded. "Then let's see what comes next." They moved deeper into the city, the glowing orbs guiding their path. The alien girl explained some of the city's mysteries as they walked. The energy streams were not just decorative, they were conduits of knowledge, carrying information about the planet, its history, and its creators. The crystalline structures were both homes and tools, capable of storing memories and projecting light patterns that conveyed emotion and meaning. Jason listened intently. Every new piece of information deepened his admiration for the city and for the alien girl. She was more than clever. She was wise, protective of her world, and perceptive. Humans could learn, adapt, and survive. But understanding an alien culture in this depth required patience, empathy, and open-mindedness. Jason felt proud that he was being trusted with this knowledge. As they navigated another series of platforms, suspended over a glowing abyss, Jason noticed subtle patterns in her movements. She was guiding him not by force, but by example. Every jump, every balance, every choice of path was a lesson. He realized that this chase had always been more than physical. She was teaching him, showing him the potential of humans. Then, a sudden disturbance shook the city. The floating platforms wobbled violently, and a wave of energy surged through the tunnels. Jason grabbed her hand instinctively, pulling her to safety as a floating shard of crystal spun dangerously close. She caught his hand firmly, and together they moved through the chaos. "You are resourceful," she said once they were safe. "Humans have the courage to face uncertainty and the cleverness to adapt. That is why I am not afraid to show you this world." Jason smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection. "I'm not afraid either," he said. "We humans can handle a lot, and I think I can handle this world with you." The alien girl studied him, her glowing eyes softening. "Perhaps," she said, "but trust is not given lightly here. It must be earned, and you have earned a part of it already." They moved forward, reaching a chamber filled with floating gardens. Bioluminescent plants swayed gently in an unseen breeze, and streams of light wound like rivers through the air. Jason felt a calm he hadn't expected. The alien girl guided him to a central platform, where a small fountain of glowing liquid pulsed in rhythm with the city itself. "Here," she said, "you will see what the city values most, not strength, not speed, but cooperation and understanding." Jason watched as the fountain's light shifted, forming patterns that resembled the paths they had taken. Symbols and shapes danced in the air, depicting their journey, their choices, and the challenges they had overcome. He realized the city was showing him a reflection of their shared experience. "It is beautiful," he said softly. "It's alive." "Yes," the alien girl said. "Alive and aware. It tests all who enter, but it also rewards those who show courage, intelligence, and empathy. Humans are capable of all these things, as you have shown." Jason felt a swell of pride and humility. He had survived, adapted, and earned the respect of a being far more agile and intelligent than himself. But more than that, he had learned that humans were capable of forming bonds, even across worlds and species. The alien girl stepped closer, her glow brightening. You have proven yourself worthy, she said, but there is one final challenge ahead, one that requires complete trust and partnership. Jason nodded. Then I'm ready. Whatever it is, we'll face it together. For the first time, they moved not as pursuer and pursued, but as partners. Every step, every jump, every choice was coordinated, each of them learning from the other. The city responded to their unity, guiding them with subtle shifts in light, floating platforms, and energy streams. As they approached the chamber's far end, Jason felt a mix of excitement and anticipation. This was more than a chase. This was a partnership, a test of human ingenuity, courage, and empathy. He realized that the alien girl had not just been testing him for fun, she had been showing him the potential of humans, proving that they could rise to challenges with cleverness, bravery, and understanding. And as they stepped into the next chamber together, Jason knew that whatever awaited them, they would face it side by side. The chase had evolved into a journey of trust, discovery, and connection. Humans were capable, adaptable, and resilient, and he was living proof. The alien girl glanced at him, a faint smile on her lips. "You are ready," she said. Jason returned the smile. "Then let's see what the city has in store for us next." And together, they moved forward into the unknown, ready to face the final challenges, not as hunter and hunted, but as allies, bound by trust, respect, and the promise of shared discovery. Jason and the alien girl moved side by side through the final chamber, a place unlike anything they had seen before. The walls glowed with shifting energy patterns, and the floor seemed to ripple like liquid glass. Streams of light arced through the air, pulsing in rhythm with the city itself. It was breathtaking and dangerous. One misstep could mean disaster. The alien girl paused at the center of the chamber. "This is it," she said softly. "The final test. The city will challenge everything you have learned. Your agility, your mind, and your ability to work with me." Jason nodded. "I'm ready. Whatever comes, we'll face it together." She gave him a faint smile, her amber eyes glowing with warmth and trust. "Then let us begin." Suddenly, the floor beneath them shifted violently, sending ripples of energy coursing through the chamber. Floating platforms appeared and disappeared, rising and falling like waves. Glowing tendrils of energy snaked toward them, testing their reflexes and timing. Jason's heart pounded, but he moved instinctively. Years of training, survival exercises, and human ingenuity guided him. He jumped, balanced, and dodged with precision, all while keeping pace with the alien girl. She darted ahead, her movements graceful and fluid. Jason followed, observing her patterns carefully. Unlike before, she did not leave clues this time. He had to rely on his own judgment, anticipating the city's reactions and adjusting his steps accordingly. A massive energy wave surged toward them, forcing them onto separate platforms. Jason glanced back and saw the alien girl leap effortlessly to safety on a distant platform. He calculated quickly, timing his jump perfectly. The energy wave crashed behind him, illuminating the chamber with a blinding light, but he landed safely. The city was testing them, but it was also teaching them. Every challenge required human creativity, courage, and adaptability. Jason realized that this was the ultimate HFY moment. Humanity's ability to think, improvise, and survive in impossible situations. The alien girl reappeared beside him. "You are remarkable," she said, "not just in courage, but in thought. You see possibilities others cannot." Jason felt a surge of pride. "I learned from you," he admitted. "You've shown me the way, and pushed me to think." She nodded, a silent acknowledgement of their partnership. "Then let us move forward. The city will demand cooperation now more than ever." As they advanced, the chamber grew more unstable. Platforms rotated unpredictably, energy tendrils whipped through the air, and streams of glowing liquid surged beneath them like rivers in flood. They had to coordinate perfectly, communicating silently with glances and gestures. Jason realized that the chase had evolved into a full partnership. Their movements were synchronized, their minds aligned, and their trust unspoken but absolute. Suddenly, a massive chasm opened before them. The platforms leading forward were too far to jump individually. Jason paused, calculating. The alien girl glanced at him, her expression calm but expectant. "We need to work together," she said. "You and I combined." Jason nodded. He took a running start, leaping to a platform just within reach. Then, using his weight, he tilted it slightly, creating a bridge for the alien girl. She crossed with ease, landing gracefully beside him. Together they moved forward, adjusting each platform, helping one another, and relying on trust and coordination. The city's energy pulsed wildly around them, reacting to their unity. Jason felt it, the sense that the city recognized human capability and their combined effort. This was more than survival. This was proof of human intelligence, adaptability, and cooperation. As they approached the chamber's end, the alien girl stopped. A massive crystalline structure stood before them, glowing with blinding light. It was the city's core, the source of its energy and awareness. Streams of light shot outward, connecting with every corner of the chamber. The alien girl stepped closer cautiously. "This is where the city's judgment will manifest," she said. "It will challenge us one final time. Are you ready?" Jason took a deep breath. "I am." Together. Suddenly, energy waves shot from the core, forming barriers and obstacles around them. Platforms shifted violently and glowing tendrils lashed toward them. Jason and the alien girl moved as one, leaping, dodging, and balancing with precision. Every obstacle required quick thinking, precise timing, and careful observation. Jason relied on his human ingenuity, predicting the energy patterns and adjusting his movements on the fly. The alien girl moved in perfect synchronization with him, her presence almost guiding the energy itself. Jason realized that the city was not just testing him, it was responding to their cooperation. Their teamwork amplified their abilities, allowing them to overcome challenges that would have been impossible alone. At one point, a massive energy barrier blocked their path. Jason noticed a series of reflective crystals along the walls. Using the light from the barrier, he calculated angles and directed the beams toward the city's core, creating a path through the energy. The alien girl followed his lead, moving with grace and precision. They reached the core together, standing on a platform that pulsed with the city's energy. The alien girl turned to him, her eyes glowing brighter than ever. "You have done it," she said. "You have proven that humans are clever, brave, and capable of trust. You have earned the city's respect." Jason smiled, feeling an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. "We did it together," he said. The city seemed to respond, the light pulsing gently, as if acknowledging their success. Jason felt a connection, a bond not just with the alien girl, but with the city itself. It was alive, aware, and it recognized humanity's potential. The alien girl stepped closer, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You are remarkable, human, not just for your skills, but for your heart. You have shown courage, intelligence, and empathy. These are the qualities that make your species extraordinary." Jason felt a warmth in his chest. For the first time in his life, he realized the true meaning of human potential, not just in survival, but in cooperation, understanding, and trust. He had faced impossible challenges, adapted and triumphed, proving that humans could rise to any occasion. "Thank you," he said quietly, "for showing me this, for trusting me." She smiled softly, her glow fading to a gentle warmth. "And thank you, human, for proving that we are not so different. You have shown that humanity can face the unknown with courage and wisdom." The city pulsed one last time, and then the energy waves calmed. The platform stabilized, and the glowing tendrils retreated. Jason looked around, marveling at the beauty and complexity of the living city. He realized that this world, once dangerous and mysterious, had become a place of understanding, respect, and discovery. The alien girl turned to him, her amber eyes shining with admiration. "You have passed every test. You have proven that humans are clever, adaptable, and capable of trust. You are welcome here, and in this city, you are remarkable." Jason felt a surge of pride and humility. He had not just survived the chase, he had formed a connection, built trust, and demonstrated the best of human qualities. This was more than an adventure. It was proof that humans, even in an alien world filled with challenges, could rise, adapt, and thrive. As they moved toward the exit, Jason glanced at the alien girl. "So, what now?" he asked. She smiled faintly. "Now, we explore together. There is much more to see, much more to understand, and perhaps a friendship to build across worlds and species." Jason nodded, feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation. "I'm ready. Let's see what comes next." The two of them stepped out of the chamber, leaving behind the glowing core, and entered the heart of the city. The alien girl led the way, but this time, Jason walked confidently beside her. He had learned, adapted, and proved the strength and ingenuity of humanity. As they moved through the glowing streets, Jason realized that this journey had changed him. He had faced impossible challenges, overcome fear, and earned trust. But most importantly, he had discovered that humans were capable of greatness, not just in survival, but in connection, courage, and understanding. The alien girl glanced at him, her amber eyes shining. "You are extraordinary, human. I hope you know that." Jason smiled. "I know now, and I hope the universe knows it too." Together they continued through the city, the light of the living world reflecting their shared journey. The chase was over, but the adventure had only begun. And in that moment, Jason understood the truth. Humans were not just survivors. They were explorers, thinkers, and allies. And the galaxy had never seen their full potential until now.